totally fair. He doesn't want to talk to her right now. And for her to be like, well, the night wind talk to you as well. It's like she's 13. Girly pop. Get a grip.
You're listening to Getting Fae'd. We,
Meike,
Lukas,
and Lea are reading A Court of Mist and Fury for the very first time. Today we are covering chapters 43 and 44. Get Fae'd with us. Woo!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you! Happy New Year to you! Happy New Year!
2026!
New Year. Happy to you.
Woo!
Woo!
Guys, how was your New Year's Eve and your Christmas time? That has totally already happened.
It was so great. We celebrated New Year's together.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It will be amazing. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, and it was have happened. Good weather.
I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking back at it and it was great.
Yeah, amazing times.
Great.
Great.
I hope you all slid well into the new year as well.
I just hope we bring as much good energy into the next year as we have right now.
Yes,
because I feel unhinged.
Of course we will. This will be an
Yes, that's the spirit, Lea. Let's go.
It took us like an hour to start recording, but I like this mindset.
This will be a great episode, not unhinged at all, only a bit, so that you might have some fun. And we as well.
I mean, these chapters are pretty mellow and not a lot happens.
But I
So
feel like they were very important. They were like deep chapters.
But not unhinged. So we have to bring the unhingedness.
Yes.
So
Let's
this
do
is
that.
going to be deep unhingedness.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's what we are made for. But
Yeah.
first we have to recap what happened before. Meike.
What happened last year, you mean?
It's been so long.
Because it's 2026 at the point of this recording. Because,
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, last episode was our one chapter episode.
Right.
Because the chapter was very long and we decided to only do this one chapter because it's juicy.
Juicy.
Quite literally. Because Rysand and the gang, I say this as if Rysand is the main character now, Feyre and the gang, including Rysand, go to Under the Mountain 1, the Court of Nightmares, which inspired Amarantha to create Under the Mountain as her court. And they succeed in their plan to steal the orb by distracting the whole court, in that Feyre and Rysand make out in front of the court.
Yes.
And they all get so
Obviously.
flustered, especially Morrigan's father, that he
Named
does not
Kier.
Kair.
Kair.
You want to name him. And yeah, they got so flustered they didn't notice Azriel was slipping away and stealing their possession.
But Meike, what is this ominous orb that they try to steal and why do they need it?
We don't know what this orb is. It's called the Veritas, but we don't really know what it does, except it does truth. In which shape or form, we don't know.
Yeah. They apparently did succeed stealing this orb, and then they were about to leave, but Kier called Feyre a whore, and so Rysand had to punish him and break all his bones, and he is not allowed to heal himself magically, I guess.
Yeah.
We made a lot of fun of that.
That was quite a scene. And we start chapter 43 with them leaving this party in all swagger.
Yeah, the quote says, "They left the court as they entered it, with swagger and menace." And I can't wait for book 3, A Court of Swagger and Menace.
Oh, that'd be a good title.
That word took me out, but sure, they left it with swagger.
And menace.
Doesn't Rysand often swagger?
He swaggers away, right? At
Yeah.
some point. Fits with
Amazing.
him.
Amazing.
Yeah. And Feyre and Rysand, they winnow away, but not to their home, but to like a lake. They land by a beautiful lake and they're alone. And I felt like, ooh, is this maybe a repetition or a parallel to like the lake scene between Tamlin and Feyre? Where they had this romantic partnership deal, whatever going on.
Romantic partnership deal.
That sounds like they're doing a business deal.
But what
like fake
do
dating.
you mean?
They weren't. Wasn't that the Lake of Starlight or something where they were and had a moment?
She means they were flirting.
A partnership deal.
A romantic partnership deal.
Well, yeah, Meike and I also have that. We agreed upon 3 winks per day and 2.5 cuddles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Only
2.5.
a half cuddle.
Yeah.
How
won't
can I
do more.
imagine a half cuddle? Is it just very fast, or is it only half the body?
Yeah. Half of
Yeah.
my body cuddles half of Lukas' body.
Yeah.
Romantic.
I just used one of my wings.
Damn.
Ah.
And this parallel that we have noticed here to a Tamlin time might be
Tamlin.
Tamlin time.
The dark Tamlin ages.
this might subliminally be with Feyre as well, because she does start comparing Rhysand to Tamlin, especially with this quite violent reaction of him punishing Kair. And
Yeah.
she says, please don't start protecting me, not like that. And I was just like, yes, preach. Like, they have a full-on fight, and she's like, I don't want you to do this. I can't deal with this again.
I was very thankful because up until this point, the book often seemed to, it often highlighted this predatorial thing and like animalistic instincts. And while she didn't like how Tamlin reacted, she seemed to like these animalistic outbursts at time. And I was like, is this something the book is just gonna brush over or even, romanticize? But for her to be like, bro, don't do that, it's too much, is good.
Yeah.
Yes. And Rhysand is like, well, but if he calls you like that and he mistreats you, then I have to react that way because I could stand it. Meow, 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 meow. And
Bro.
Yeah, at first, like when he did that, I thought, okay, he has to do it because he's in his evil persona. But then he just kind of reveals, no, that was me. I want to protect you. And that was kind of icky.
yeah. And Feyre calls him out for that because he's like, oh, I wasn't expecting him to be so mean to you like that. And she's like, well, then you should have prepared yourself better. And I'm like, yes, like, where is the lie? Like, you tell him, girl. But as I said, this is a full-on fight, and Rhysand seems truly hurt by the comparison to Tamlin, and that means he truly hates Tamlin.
Reasonable. Where's the lie?
Yes. And they go on in their discussion. It's not a discussion, it's a fight. I just didn't feel like saying fight again because I said it so often now.
Repetition.
Yes. In their argument, I guess. And he says, oh no, I will always be seen as the villain in the story, and Tamlin will always be the hero who gets the girl.
I think he's just being a bit dramatic. And I understand why he is scared of always being the bad guy, especially because he has this mask of the evil, cruel High Lord to keep his city safe. But I don't know, I feel like there are still so many people that know that Rhysand is not the bad guy here. And, so many people that matter know that he's cool. Like, his closest friends, also Feyre. Like, they know Feyre is here by her own choice. And shouldn't that be
That's
more
the thing.
important?
Like, the people who matter, they know.
Yeah.
But Feyre calls out his mask and is like, well, you don't even allow all your masks to fall down in the presence of your friends. Like, you don't even let the people who matter most in. And she's very harsh when she tells him that. And
Yeah.
they don't end on the best of terms, this fight.
No, she sort of overstepped the line.
Yeah. And she describes this quote with something I would have expected in a different context. She says, that was too hard, too deep.
Well, I think the good thing here is that she immediately notices, oh, I've overstepped here, but she's not really in a position to take it back immediately. And the scene kind of resolves with, well, them getting home, but they don't talk really, and they leave each other to their devices.
Yeah, that fight made me really conflicted. Because I like fight scenes, like especially verbal fight scenes, because it kind of like highlights the connection and the emotions and blah, blah, blah. But here, like, I understand where both of them are coming from. I understand why Feyre is mad, and I understand why Rhysand is scared. But I just don't like how they handle these emotions, and
Yeah.
it just make me angry. And there are chapters I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great ship. I want them to end up together. And then I'm like, he's kind of like Tamlin. He's not good for her. And then she's reacting badly. And I'm like, she's not good for him either. And
Well, I have to say I do feel conflicted as well. Not like in the opposite way, but kind of in a parallel way, maybe. Because
we're never gonna touch.
Because I don't really like when they fight, because I'm like, no, they're fighting. I want harmony. Well, I do think this fight does give us some character progression, and I think it was necessary for both of them to like get their feelings out. Like, it wasn't the best way to like proclaim their feelings, but like they got some things they felt out, and I feel like it ordered what they felt for them. Like they haven't reached the part where they're like, oh, now I know what I feel. But I feel like this fight like ordered some feelings for them, and now they can like reflect upon it.
Yes. But also, like, who were you more angry at during the fight? Or were you angry at all at one of them? Because I really fault Feyre here, how this fight ends.
Well, I have to say, I wasn't really sure what kind of masks she was talking about. So I was like, I'm not really sure what she's talking about. So I was more angry at Rysand because he was like Tamlin.
Okay.
But I do see that she used very harsh words and was also a bit mean.
Yeah, I think for me the distinction between those two is that while I don't like why Rysand reacted that way, he knew why he did it, and he like kind of just expressed his emotions. He was like, well, I can't help it, and while I don't think that's good, it is good that he can express that he knows that. But Feyre does not respond in any constructive way to that. She's just mean to him, like saying, oh, you don't drop your mask because if you did, your friends wouldn't like you. It's just outright mean. And I hate when people throw something in your face that is just meant to hurt you in a fight.
Yeah.
A fight is good if it like puts stuff out and then you can sort through it, but she was just like showing him the middle finger. And I think for him to react the way he does, to just kind of shut her off and end it, is a reasonable response to that.
It would have been funny if he would have just winnowed away and left her there.
That would be mean as well.
Yeah.
Well, after this fight, Feyre is reflecting upon it a lot. That's what I mean. Like,
which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I'm like, yeah, this helped her order her feelings. Like, she gets to the conclusion that she was more accusing him of things that she's angry about herself, like
Classic.
letting people in and stuff. And also, like, I think the most important part is that she comes to the conclusion of like, oh, maybe I do want him more. Like, she, over the bridge of like, oh, I feel like I've used him, where I was like, huh? What? Huh? I guess. But like, she overcame that and was like, but I not only used him, I actually want this. I think what she meant with the using him part was like, okay, I flirted with him a lot and I've never meant it. And like, I've kind of let him on in a way. But now I notice I actually do mean it and I want more.
I think she also means how she feels a bit guilty for enjoying this facade. Like, they kind of did just pretend, but she was actually getting off to it and was like, oh, yeah, that was really fun. And while at the same time, she kind of knows it might have not been what he has wanted. So, you know, she enjoyed something he did not enjoy. So that might also feel like using him in a way.
But you know what I enjoy? Feyre reflecting upon her feelings.
Yeah.
Because she never did this in these books. She was always like, oh, I'm too depressed, which is like reasonable, like no shaming that. But it was always like, no, I can't think about this now. I will do it later. But I think it's good that she has reached a state where she can have emotions again and recognize these emotions and then reflect upon these emotions.
Doesn't she even say, I'm healed, or at least healed enough to think what I want and think about what I want?
Yeah, the quote is, I was healed or healing enough to want to try. And the thing is, like, it's really enjoyable to read her reflecting, and it feels rewarding to read her coming to the conclusion that she is willing to try now. Like, the way she lets in these thoughts and is willing to figure out with him together, to be like, okay, I want to try this. I want to figure out with him what this could be. It doesn't have to be like, we're the best, most epic romance of forever now and lovers for life, of immortal life. But just like, hey, I like you, I want to spend time with you, I want to be close to you, I have feelings for you. Do you feel the same? Let's figure out what this is. This feels so healthy and rewarding.
And I think it's a big difference to her relationship to Tamlin.
Yeah.
She didn't really say it on page in the last book, but I think there was kind of the expectation for her, like, oh, I'm a human now dating a Fae Lord. This has to be like a grand romantic thing, like we have to be epic. And then I got saved and I'm supposed to be his queen now. And, you know, there were so many expectations in that. And she was still so young. So now for her to be like, well, I'm just going to see where it goes. And then,
Also,
Healthy.
she always compared their relationship, like hers and Tamlin's relationship, with the relationship of his parents, with this rose garden and stuff.
right.
So that's, a good difference.
Yeah.
And I really love to read that. That was amazing. And she not only comes to this conclusion and is like, oh, well, I guess I'm sitting with these feelings now, but she's like, okay, I will tell him. I have to tell him.
Very mature.
Yeah.
It is very mature, and I hope she will just tell him the next time they have a private conversation together. Really looking forward to that.
Well, the thing is, she's actually waiting for him at this point. I think
Which
she
again
went-
is stupid.
True.
Girly pop. You just spat in his face. Just go find him and tell him you're sorry and you don't meant it and you feel in love.
She can't really find him because he's off to brood.
Well, she doesn't know that yet. She's sitting in her room and is like, well, I'm sitting here and waiting for him to come.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And then she said he doesn't. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have come either.
Yeah. Well, the next morning, it turns out he's ghosting her because he's not at breakfast, he's not at lunch. And there are little notes that they exchange magically. Her notes don't vanish anymore, so that magic
He
is
just blocked
turned
her.
off. Yeah. And that's very sad.
Yes.
But it also is a sign that he seems truly hurt by her words. And then she has some random fantasies about like torturing the mortal queens. Like, what the fuck, Feyre? I think she's thinking about like how he hurt Keir so extremely, and then she's like, because we have the orb now and probably the mortal queens will make us wait again and not reply immediately. I wish he would like break their bones in that way. And I'm like, Feyre, are you okay? What the fuck?
Rysand might not be the best influence after all.
This whole court isn't.
It's this thing of her like just hating on humans. Ha!
Yeah. Inferior.
Also, for him to
beings.
break another Fae's bones, he will heal. But for him to like go rogue on the queens would have just been like, well, now you're broken.
Especially that's the way she died, right?
Right.
That's how Amarantha killed her.
So she knows it's not that bad. Fucking queens. They can suffer.
Just come back.
Bitch.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, that was like randomly sprinkled in there. Bit wild.
Is that just foreshadowing that Feyre will grow to be the villain of these books?
Would be kind of cool.
I mean, we saw her become the chosen one without being chosen, but like growing there. So maybe now she'll get her turn. And
I mean, she has immense power in her, and she is learning to control these powers. And maybe at one point she's like, you annoy me. Torture. You were mean to my friend. Broken neck.
I mean,
Fuck you.
she has the ability to become a tyrant if she wanted to.
Yeah.
it would be fun.
True.
What was that in your face, Meike? Was that horniness or just
Desire.
Yeah, desire might be the right word. Maybe not in a sexual way, but that would be a cool story to read.
Yeah.
Like a very fleshed out villain origin story.
Pretty cool. And then
Yeah.
Lester and Elaine have to fight her or
Unlikely
something.
though.
But if she becomes a villain, she can adapt the villain persona and change her name because the name is stupid.
What would her villain name be?
Lady Death.
That's better than Feyre Archeron.
Are you sure? I feel it's the same level.
Lady Death. Oh, I like it. I like it.
Well, she goes on a little stroll and visits Amren, who has been working hard in her little flat. And they have a conversation, and I feel like the important information we get from here is that there's a location change imminent. The gang is supposed to leave Velaris and relocate to an Illyrian war camp.
Wild.
To me, that sounds very sad because I've grown to like Velaris.
Yeah,
but
me
also
too.
very exciting. New place, new surroundings, maybe new people.
Yeah.
More-
For her character, it's sad. For the story, it's great.
Yeah. And it's more like in the action. I guess that's also an important revelation from this conversation. Like Amren says, Rhys is hunting down the people that attacked them on their way to the Court of Nightmares. Because, little recap, they were attacked on their way to the Court of Nightmares.
End of recap.
With ashwood arrows. And they didn't find anything. So
Maybe
was
it was
Feyre.
Lady Death.
And as we have gathered, someone has always known where they've been. And we were thinking, so there must have been a spy. But I guess the Court of Dreams has come to another conclusion. And the conclusion is that they can track Rhys's powers, especially when he's winnowing or something. And that is the reason, or at least one big reason why they relocate.
Yeah.
Makes sense because I guess Velaris is not safe if they can track him. But then, like, he's been winnowing in Velaris already and they have been already tracking them. So they already, like, huh?
Yeah, like the way I understood it is he winnows and then they automatically know where he winnowed to. Don't they are confused that he constantly winnows to this little bay on the western coast of Nightcourt? Was nothing there?
Maybe the wards of Velaris kind of protected
I was
from
about to say.
that, but
Yeah.
him being there and repeatedly winnowing there might, lead them there. Like, he winnows from nowhere to there and from nowhere to there, so they can kind of pinpoint where he's coming from.
Yeah. Like, I kind of forgot that there are also magical wards around Velaris, but that would make sense that if he's kind of winnowing into, like, a black spot or something.
Yeah. When Amren said that he's out hunting them, I was almost convinced that Rhysand would get hurt. That they would have, like, this fight, and then the next thing that would happen is Rhysand almost dying or something because he, gets shot by an ashwood arrow or, hurt by an ashwood weapon. And that would, mentally be very hard on Fae'd because I didn't think he would die. But for her to be like, oh no, the last thing I said to you was so mean and now you're dying. And then she sits on his deathbed and is like, I know.
I was also kind of convinced that something happens where they can't talk to each other again, because I feel like that would have been a juicy story with a lot of tension when the last thing they did was fight, and then comes a long time span when he's maybe even captured or they are just separated and they can't talk.
Yeah, you said to me you think they will not see each other until the end of the book. And I thought this was a great idea. Turns out it's wrong. But after you
Spoiler.
finished chapter 43, you were like, do you think they might not see each other again until the book's over? And I was like, wow.
Would be interesting.
Yeah.
And the thing, Amren and Fae'd, have their conversation and they end on a appreciation for Rhysand. I think Fae'd says he's lucky he has all of you guys. And then Amren is like, we're lucky to have him. And she's like, because he's a dreamer and I've never met a High Lord like him who only wants good for his people or something like that. So I guess every other High Lord is a piece of shit.
Also very sweet coming from
Yeah.
Amren.
Yeah.
But I guess the saying always goes power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
So I guess Rhysand is uniquely equipped to withstand that, and all the other High Lords are very powerful people who
He's
use
also
that power.
giving a lot of his power away. Not his innate power, but the ruling power. He's sort of dividing who rules what, and then he chooses seconds and thirds to I don't know, maybe balance that influence out. I don't feel like Tamlin is giving any of his power away. Lucian is there to be his emissary, but I don't feel like Tamlin is, discussing anything important with Lucian and then actually listening to his ideas and opinions.
Yeah, I think he maybe even would be discussing things, but he has the last deciding power. And I feel like in the Court of Dreams, if Morrigan was like, no, we're not doing this. This is not okay. I think Rhysand would listen to her.
Yeah, me too.
I would hope he would.
Morrigan is his second, right? And Amren, or is
I think Amren is the second.
Yeah.
Morrigan is the third.
Doesn't it depend on like
the situation?
what he needs them for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Morrigan is always in charge of Valaris when he's gone. Well, but I think also a big takeaway from this chapter are the logistics of their travels, because I think it's quite interesting that the ability to winnow somewhere is just kind of taken out of the equation for now, because she's supposed to fly to the Illyrian war camp, and then if the queen's right back and they meet up in the Mortal Realm, she's supposed to fly to the Mortal Realm, which first of all sounds absolutely atrocious. It's like probably a 10-hour flight over this whole fucking island, bridal style. That does not sound comfortable.
No.
And for the first time, it kind of gives at least a faint possibility of us getting to experience more courts, because like if Cassian or maybe Rysand like take her and they fly over the whole island of Prithian to get to the south, maybe they will crash down in Autumn Court. And we will get to see that. Just an idea.
It also
like
sounds a
it.
bit dangerous to fly over all these courts.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like they already know they winnow to the Mortal Realm, I guess. They
They
already
don't winnow.
intercepted them there.
They don't winnow to the Mortal Realm. They like winnow to the wall and then fly.
But then still the Atter appeared in the Mortal Realm.
That's the thing. Like this wall, it has absolutely no consequences. Like everyone can pass this wall.
Let's not make the wall a topic again.
I just wanted to say, but no, the humans can't get through. But like,
They
Feyre
can.
in book 1, when she was a human, was like, there was a wall. I searched for an opening. I found an opening.
Oh no, it was so hard. Not.
Well,
This part of the chapter ends with Feyre also like finding her appreciation for Rysand, that he was the one who fought for her even when she was not willing to fight for herself, and she likes him and she's happy he's there, even though he's not right now.
Cute.
And that makes her sad.
But speaking of cute, there's also like a cute Amren thing in this chapter, because Feyre describes her flat, and then it's like the necklace that Varian gave to Amren just kind of sits next to her bed as if she falls asleep looking at it.
No,
And why is Amren cute?
because
I don't
she's
know.
tiny.
I did not expect Amren to have the hots for Varian, but I kind of like it.
Just some random guy, and surprising, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that's nice. We also get a little bit of, not really foreshadowing, but announcement, what will happen or wait for us next chapter. And that is Starfall.
What's that?
A celebration, but it's a surprise. I won't tell you what it is. What could it be? A Starfall celebration.
What could happen? Are the stars gonna fall?
It's definitely not a meteor shower.
I feel like just the name Starfall, it sounds straight out of Stardew Valley.
Sort of.
It
yeah.
reminds me of like a mall, but maybe I just think of Starcourt from Stranger Things.
There's gonna be a celebration, and we have no idea what it might be.
Celebrate good times. Come on. That's okay.
Yeah, fun fact, my band once played at the same festival as Kool and the Gang who wrote that song. Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah. Deep Lore Drop.
Deep Lore Drop.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Before we get to celebrate Starfall, we get some letters or notes that Feyre tries to send to Tamlin. No! Bad! That's a Freudian! She writes notes that she tries to send to Rysand. That's what I wanted to say.
Imagine for her to accidentally send the notes to Tamlin. Sorry, wrong chat.
And then it's just a note that says, hey, I'm sorry for what happened. I want to meet up and make up and maybe we can have a reconciliation. And also, I want to be with you.
I searched my feelings!
Meet me at Valaris.
What? Huh? Can't be from her. She can't write.
I know you're a scammer.
Catfish.
Yeah. Get Farah.
Yes! No! I don't want it! Go away!
Maybe we should just continue with the chapters.
Yeah, well, notes that she writes, like she starts teasing him, and that's the thing, like teasing each other. And then she escalates a bit, and like the last note she writes is like, don't people have the ability to get a second chance in your court of dreams? You are a hateful coward.
What the fuck, Farah?
Oh, wow. Where's this coming from?
She does all this reflecting inside of herself. And she comes to very good conclusions.
Yeah.
And on the outside, she's like, fucking hate you, Rysan, you stupid bitch. Like, she was mean to him. It's totally fair. He doesn't want to talk to her right now. And for her to be like, well, the night went off you with, well... It's like she's 13. Girly pop. Get a grip.
The thing is, like, that is the letter that does vanish.
Yeah, of course.
And the thing is, the letters before that didn't vanish. So that's the only letter that Rysan gets.
He's just like, okay, well, I took enough time away from her. I'm gonna unblock her. I'm just and he just cries himself to sleep.
Wow.
Coward.
But who cares?
Rysan
Rysan
does.
crying when Farah is stunning as a star in chapter 44 when she's being made ready by Nuala and Caradron for
Wow.
Starfall. And she is dressed
No.
in a dress made of tiny blue gems that almost seem white.
Okay.
And Farah was so happy about sleeping through the nights that she has not really noticed that she can keep down her food now, and she has gotten curves.
Ooh la la. Good for me. Not the curves, the not throwing up anymore.
Okay, I was like, sure, Meike,
The curves probably as well.
go for it.
Go
Wow.
for Tyrant, Farah. You want it. I know you do. I saw your look
I
earlier.
can see it. Her pretty dress is hugging all her curves in the right places. And even though it is like a floor-length gown
Meike wants to be that dress so badly.
Huggles.
and with long sleeves, it would seem demure, but like it really leaves nothing to the imagination because of his huggability.
But honestly, rich people, it's not enough to have fancy dresses and jewelry. No, you have to have a dress made out of jewelry. Because I'm rich and I'm Farah.
Yeah.
I thought that was like funny.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like the escalation. Like this is fictional, awesome beauty time.
So fictional billionaires can be your emotional support billionaires.
Yeah.
Jo.
Nice. Yeah.
And, well, the stones on her dress, they click on the floor when she goes to the roof. And, like, thinks, maybe Rysan would be there. And there's a figure, a male figure standing in a shadow or something. Maybe not a shadow, I don't remember. But he turns around and it is Cassian.
No, I think before he turns around, doesn't she describe that she recognizes him by his scent?
Yeah.
Is
Maybe.
he a stinky boy? Is he stinky?
I mean, he's like the sporty boy.
So he's stinky.
Maybe.
I mean, she has, like, Sarah J. Maas has this thing of describing the scents of characters. Like, we know Rysan smells of jasmine and citrus and wind. I don't know.
I smell, is that a fart? I smell of wind.
And Tamlin smells like grass and
Green. No, that's
No, that's
Tarkin.
and he smells of, like, the sea and the ocean and
In
fresh
shells.
stuff.
Maybe he smells of sea tang, which is also quite stinky.
Yeah. So I was surprised that it got mentioned that Cassian has a scent, but his scent is not described. I feel like Cassian would smell like
Leather!
Yeah, I was about to say like iron
gorilla.
and leather.
Yeah.
You know.
Iron and leather.
Leather! I smell like leather!
Yeah, kind of like, you know, people that do a lot of like mechanical stuff.
It's like these Old Spice deodorants. that smell like leather and shipwreck and horse.
Testosterone.
When you play a lot of guitar, Lukas, you kind of smell like brass and metal. Because like you touch the strings of the guitar so much. And I kind of imagine that smell.
So like blood.
So Cassian smells like me.
He smells like your hands.
Okay.
When you put them in a leather glove.
Does
Right.
that mean my hand is stinky? Okay. So yeah, Cassian is apparently a stinky boy and she recognizes that.
Yeah. And the thing is, in these few days of absentiness, I don't know, of Rysand, Cassian has become a bit of a companion to her. They become close friends and they spend a lot of time training and just talking about everything except Rysand. And I really like it. They're friends.
Me too. But I thought this would maybe even turn into a Feyre lets off some steam with Cassian chapter. Because it has been mentioned that Cassian would be willing to sleep with Feyre. Maybe Rysand said that. I don't know how much truth is actually in that, but Cassian seems like someone who just enjoys sex with good-looking people, and Feyre is a very good-looking person, and they get along, so I could see it. And Feyre is kind of like getting more open towards casual sex, I guess. She's like, well, lust is lust, and I don't need a relationship. If there's just physical attraction, that's fine. So I was like, well, he's complimenting her so much, and she's kind of like flirting with him and like, oh, I'm glad you're here. And I was like, whoop. Are they gonna? But they don't.
No,
yeah,
they don't.
because he's stinky.
No, instead, he takes her in his arms and they fly to the party. The thing is, while they fly, Feyre does wish she would have her own wings so that she wouldn't have to be carried everywhere.
Foreshadowing.
That's the exact same thing I wrote down as well. And the thing is with you saying, oh, they have to fly everywhere now, I don't, when you described that, my thought wasn't like, ooh, they have to, take stops, but it was like, she can't be carried for 10 hours. So maybe we get her turning into a bird.
The bird on the cover. Who's the bird on the cover?
It's Feyre.
It's Feyre. She will be so annoyed about being carried everywhere. She's just gonna be like, nah.
But she mentions that she would like to have enormous and majestic wings.
Well, she's a big bird.
Okay.
And the thing is,
Okay. She's just an eagle from the Lord of the Rings.
I feel like in relation to her bird body, her wings would be quite large, probably.
Right?
Yeah, maybe she's just gonna be a huge bird.
That would be
I
a
love to
cool
see it.
revelation for the bird to be her. Because she's also so scared of this shape-shifting thing because it
Yeah.
reminds her of Tamlin and
Yeah.
feels kind of aggressive and abusive and evil. But for her to make it, flying is something very cool. For her to use it to do something cool.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
And they do fly to the House of Wind. When this celebration was announced, I thought it would be in the whole city, like a city fair or something. All the lights are turned off, and then they just go to the House of Wind, where everybody, and either everybody or just everybody important is.
Yeah, I think it's just the rich people.
Yeah, but that kind of seemed like a gala more than ooh, we have our celebration now. But
Yeah.
at least when they arrive. But they do arrive, and a lot of people are there. Feyre's like, oh, where are my peeps? Where are my friends?
Friends!
That made me happy. She called them friends. And then Morrigan and her spot each other at the same time, and Morrigan flatters over to her. Yeah, and Morrigan obviously is stunning as well. And Cassian strolls off to Asriel, who's talking with another person they know. And
But no, you can't just brush over this person.
okay, sorry.
Because I feel like this person was described very briefly, but very ominously.
Okay.
Because it's not like a random person, but I think she says they are talking to a stranger whose face is hidden in shadows, and she only sees him flashing a white grin. And that's all the information we get. But
Do you think it's Lucian?
No.
I don't think it's someone she's met.
Do you think it's Dragon?
It might be someone important. My first thought was Draken, and then I was like, no, he
That
wouldn't be
makes
here.
Negative sense for him to be there.
Right.
Negative.
But it feels like he'd be someone
Yeah.
who'd come up later. Because
Yeah,
then
it's very
Cassian
important.
goes there and
Probably,
they're like,
yeah.
do a handshake and hug, like do the manly hug. And it just feels like he's important. Like he must be someone they know and have known for a longer time.
And it would make sense if they get to know him, like when they reach the Illyrian camp.
yeah, I
like
thought
if
he might
they
be
are
someone
friends with
from
him.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
So just a side note, maybe we will meet him again.
Okay.
What do you
Or
think his
maybe-
name is?
Richard.
Okay.
I will just call him Richard for now. He is now Richard.
Okay.
This is what we did with Tim the Night Guy and Honey. Tamlin.
Honey.
We called Honey. We called
Yeah.
Tamlin
Tamlin
Honey.
Honey.
Yes. So that ominous man is now Richard.
Don't you shorten Richard to Dig?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Dig.
Cassian is so enthralled in this dialogue
Yeah,
or
he's so enthralled
trialogue
by Dick.
that he doesn't notice that Azriel is enthralled by something completely different. Azriel is oogling at Morrigan.
He's blatantly staring at her backside.
The yearning. Ah.
But it's so funny that Cassian doesn't notice.
Yeah. Must be
that's
some
the
man
bigger
that
lol.
Dick.
But I think what's even funnier is that Azriel, the deceiving spy master, is blatantly staring so that Feyre immediately catches it.
Oh, but I love that he loses his ability to
Yeah.
be casual around her.
He's just
That's
like,
just he's so cute around her.
Then Feyre hears a big clonk that's his jaw hitting the floor.
Yeah. But yeah, it just fit very well into our current situation because Lukas and I are watching Bridgerton. Like
for
we
the
just
first time.
for the first time, yes.
Yeah.
When it came out, I was like, why would I watch this bullshit? It's just
Holy
romantic
Jesus.
stuff
Shame.
with rich people. I would
Awesomeness.
hate it. I love it. I love it so much. It's so fun.
And why do you love it, Meike?
It is just, it's silly, but in a very fun way. And
Yeah.
I especially liked season 2. Like, season 2 got me really into the main ship, I guess. And Jonathan
Yeah.
Bailey's yearning is just,
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
great, it's
so
great.
fun. It's so stupid. Like, whenever he did it, I was like, bro. But it's also so fun. And
I think, like, after we watched the second Wicked movie, I was like, I think I now know why Jonathan Bailey is so attractive to so many people. Because he's just very good at yearning.
yeah.
Yeah,
He does
it's the
that so
yearning.
well. Like, he's just good at, like, lying at your feet.
Yeah, he holds very intense eye contact and his eyes
Very
go sort
intense.
of mad. And like there's a very fine line between his yearning and being very creepy. Like there's just one little step to him looking like he's about to murder you. But that intensity, it's something. But just today, this morning, I saw a reel of Jonathan Bailey talking to Elmo from the Sesame Street. Random, I know, but yeah. So Jonathan Bailey is talking to Elmo, and I think it is supposed, like, it is not entirely directed at children, I think, this video, but more of, like, he tells you to, like, take a break and, you know, just step back, take a moment, appreciate the good things, and it's okay for you to calm down and settle for good things. Like, good, positive
Who
message.
said that?
It's
Elmo or
just the
Jonathan?
message of the reel. They talk about it and,
Okay.
you know. But because Jonathan Bailey holds such intense eye contact with everyone, he also has intense eye contact with Elmo. Like I was like, oh, this is a nice message, and he's such a gentle guy. But also, is he flirting with Elmo?
Ship of the century.
Yeah,
I think canonically Elmo is 5.
I know.
What?
It just made
Then
me a
never
little
mind.
uncomfortable.
Maybe it can be the ship of the next century then.
Well,
Should we go back to the book?
yes,
Yeah.
because Morrigan has something very sad to tell us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because she will not relocate with us to the Illyrian war camp. I mean, she will accompany us there and then go to the Court of Nightmares for quite a while.
Why, you ask, Meike? So she can become evil, as we predicted.
You know, she says she goes there to overlook her father's healing.
That's so
What?
random. Maybe that he doesn't call
Yeah,
a healer.
That's what I thought. Is she there to babysit that he does not get healing? But that was just
That would be stupid.
That's such a
I mean-
bullshit reason that it becomes shady in my eyes. Just
The
saying.
thing is,
Right.
maybe because he is so hurt, he can't really rule right now. So maybe she's stepping in his place.
Well,
Is she just a substitute ruler of everything?
yeah.
Yes.
She's
Well.
gonna substitute Rule Highburn.
The king of Highburn is just like break his foot, and she's like, you know what? Let me do it.
I got some free time. My friends are at the Illyrian war camp. I can handle it.
And then Hybern surrenders. How nice.
When she talks about her having to go back there, she also tells us the backstory that we already know, but from her perspective. And I think it's really nice that we get it from her perspective.
Yeah.
And she tells us, like, she visited Rysand and then met Cassian and Azriel. And she chose Cassian and wanted to lose her virginity with... Like, it was important to her to lose her virginity with someone that she chose. And she was like, the most mighty Illyrian fighter? Come fuck me. And they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
valid.
Good for them.
Yeah, and the thing is they never, like, had anything going on between them ever again. The way she says it, it seems that, or we can kind of gather, that Cassian still wants her, but more out of principle, because he knows he can't have her.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, and now I've sworn off dating in the group altogether, because I don't want to cause a rift, because, like, Rysand and Cassian had this big fight, because he brought her in danger. And so now she can't date anyone from the group. And that's why Azriel is still yearning and not receiving. Sadness.
He's been yearning for 500 years.
500 yearns.
That's so sad.
And then Rysand appears. And he seems very, like, he's in a friendly mood again. And he just says, well, I needed some time to, like, get over it.
Valid.
Yeah, but now I guess it's good. Like, later they have a deeper talk, but even then he doesn't really, like, get into how this made him feel. And I feel like that would have been important.
Nah.
Because he was so hurt.
Yeah.
Well, but instead we get to witness that Cassian, Morrigan, and Azriel are dancing as a unit.
Do you think there's a possibility of them ending up as like a polycule?
I would want that so much.
Because there's so much talk in this chapter about how they are such a good trio,
Yeah.
and Morrigan doesn't want to break that up. And then they dance together, and Azriel is obviously in love, and Cassian still likes her, and she likes Azriel and still likes Cassian. And, you know, that could solve the problem.
Be a good solution. Yes.
You know, on a story perspective, I can totally see it. On a meta perspective, I don't know if Sarah J. Maas would write that, because I feel like the queer representation in general in this book is just like, we got one tiny mention of Rysand maybe being bisexual. And I feel like constructing a polycule queer relationship would just be a step too high.
Where did
The
two
thing
of
is-
the queen's wives? Or someone else? I feel
don't
like
think
there was a
they said
mentioning of wives in this
I
book.
don't
but
think it was
don't-
ever mentioned. So
Okay.
to me, it maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
you're right. It's not
and
very
I would like
diverse.
to be proven wrong. But to me, it feels like a book series that just does not really go into these topics.
But the thing is, like, their polyamory, Cassian, and I would want it, but Cassian and Azriel don't need to be, like, together as well for them to be a polycule, you know? So if you refuse queer representation, I guess you could, if you had to. I don't know why,
She
but
could still just date both of them.
yeah.
We will see.
But then it doesn't seem like she wants to date Cassian.
Yeah. No.
Well, but if they're a polycule, Cassian and her don't have to be a thing, and then it's just like...
Then she could just be with Azriel.
No, but Cassian is with Azriel, in my mind.
That
Cassian.
doesn't solve the problem, but
No.
sure. No,
What would be the shipping name of the three of them, though?
Cass-ass more. More Cass-ass.
MorCasAz!
Nice.
Yeah, but polycule aside, when there was so much talk of them being that perfect unity and that great I was about to say, that great trio, it makes me really scared that this is not gonna end well for the three of them. If it's romance splitting them apart, if it's switching sides splitting them apart, if it's one of them dying splitting them apart, but I feel like this trio is not going to survive.
Especially because Feyre describes them as dancing as if they'd never get the chance to do it again.
Right.
Very ominous indeed.
Well,
And then the starfall seems like a meteor shower. And it's like, woo, stars falling.
Wow.
Who would have predicted it? Wow. And they are very near and it's amazing and awesome.
Yeah, but predictability aside, I think that's a cool concept for a holiday.
Yeah.
It's like the yearly meteor shower, and we will watch it together, and we will all extinguish our lights, and that's nice.
And then Rysand and Feyre actually do search for an opportunity to talk out this tension between them because of the fight.
They go to a private balcony.
Balcony! And when I have to tell you something, when they stood there on that balcony watching the stars fall, I thought, for the first time ever, I finally understood the ACOTAR reference in Throne of Glass. And I got so goddamn excited. And then the chapter proceeded, and the more and more I was like, well, maybe not.
What's the reference? Can you disclose this information, or is
No,
it a
maybe
spoiler?
it's a spoiler.
No, I cannot tell you. But there is a moment in Throne of Glass that reminded me, like, I think I told you, there is a moment in Throne of Glass where people were like, oh my God, this is like the ACOTAR moment. This is connecting the universes. And I was just like, what? I don't understand anything. And then I read her newest book series and I understood that reference. And then I reread Throne of Glass and I was like, oh, this is the ACOTAR moment. I still do not understand it. But then I thought I understood it. But now I'm not sure anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
We're just gonna leave that out there for all the listeners who have read that reference.
Right.
Now get something
Maybe
out
people
of that.
know what I'm talking about.
Well,
I don't.
they are up there on their private balcony and watch the stars fall. And
Beautiful.
Feyre very quickly admits, hey, I didn't mean what I said. I was like projecting my fears onto you. And she apologizes. And that kind of already resolves it. Like the dialogue goes on a bit more, but it's not really like gathering more. And she is almost at the point of admitting her feelings for him. But then she is hit in the face by a star, which turns out not to be a star.
It was I don't know how to feel about this. Like when I thought it was a star, I was like, is it like star juice? But then it turns out that these are like migrating souls
Spirits.
or spirits.
Do you think they're souls, like of people?
I
mean,
thought,
spirits
like,
could be, but
I thought there were souls in the spirits, so this is just like soul goo. Did the soul just die and like fall out of the sky and splash in her face?
it's very unclear.
What the
Well,
fuck?
the thing, spirits, I understood it more like in a Fae context. Like in the Fae, like when you think of like Avatar, like The Legend of Aang and The Legend of Korra, that in the spirit world, that's kind of like the Fae world, but there are spirits that are not really material. Are you okay?
They're waving.
He's just sitting there
He's
doing
summoning
jazz
the
hands.
spirits. Well, so they didn't feel like very material and more like dust and ghost.
Yeah, but for it to splatter on your
Yeah.
face gives them such a...
Gooiness.
A texture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, what? Why is it on her face?
And I think the question remains, like, did
Is
that
it dead now?
spirit just die? Did it just leave what it's trailing behind on her? Like, it's my gooey spirit tail.
Yeah, like, for him to be like, they migrate every year, there's just so little explanation here. Like, this should be something Feyre should be like, oh my God, please explain it to me. This is so magical and new to me. I don't understand it. But she's just like, oh, sure.
Based,
I
though.
mean, like on the surface, like before the goo, pre-goo, it all made sense. Because they were like, okay, these look like stars, but they realize they are not stars. But as a society, they don't know yet what comets are. So it makes sense that there is a myth created of, oh, these are souls that migrate. But it's like not a common comet shower. And it's like very low above the ground. And then there's star goo. And I don't know what to believe anymore.
The thing is, I actually really like that it is not a meteor shower.
Yes.
But something different, spirits migrating, sounds very cool.
It's magical. Fantasy.
And it is actually subverting your expectations. Because when they say, ooh, it's a surprise, the starfall, what could it be? You're like, it's a meteor shower, thank you. And then it's not. And like, okay, that's cool. But I do agree that it's too close. Like, they should be migrating in the sky and not in her face.
Yeah. Before they migrated in her face. So again, spirit-goo, it was pretty cool because the visuals that came across were quite cool because they also emit a lot of light. So it's like flashing lights basically, and the whole city is basically illuminated by that. And that was very vibey.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
very cool.
When she got hit into the face by this goo thing, at first I got angry because, again, this is like almost romance happening and then something silly happens. But this is so silly, it is fun again.
Yeah.
Like Azriel coming in and interrupting them being too shy to move forward. Okay, very classic. I have seen it a million times before in every book series, in every movie, in every TV show. Yeah, we've seen that. But to be hit in the face by something magical, that is a very fun interruption.
Yeah.
And then it kind of lightens the mood, and for him to be like, oh, well, now your freckles kind of glow. That is really
That's
sweet.
very
And I was like, oh, he's
cute.
such a softie.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
cute.
I have to say, like Raisan's reaction, he just laughs at her. And I was angry at first.
What?
Yeah, I was angry because, like, when it is described, it's like a blinding light is hitting her eyes and searing out. It feels like it's searing out her eyes. And then he just laughs at her and I was like, what? And then when I read on and was like, okay, it's spirit-goo. It's very silly. I was like, okay, this is a reasonable reaction. If like that it's the fact that when your friend falls down and your first reaction is to laugh and then you help them. You know? It's just a very close relationship and just very real, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I did like it.
Yeah.
I liked it too, but I also was kind of mad that they didn't kiss because it so felt like they were gonna kiss. They had a romantic discussion about spirits migrating, and then when they talked, they shared one breath because they were so close together. And it felt like Bridgerton season 2 all over again, where they just don't kiss.
Yes. Instead, Raisan is also hit by spirit-goo in his face.
Karma.
And now they both have glowing shit all
No.
over them.
Don't say it like that.
And now she laughs and they are very happy together and like they joke around and this is the first time apparently she genuinely actually smiles at him. And
Wild.
he's like, don't stop. You're so pretty. The freckles shine.
And then she allows herself to smile at him.
Yeah. And then she like, I'm not really sure how it starts, but she like kind of caresses him and like the goo is also on his hand and then she like plays around with it and she's painting! She did it again! She found it! She painted a star with star goo!
On Raisan's hand.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's not the painting each other, but painting on each other.
Even better.
How did you feel about the painting being back?
I had to laugh a little, but mainly just because we make so much fun about her being a painter. But I think it's a nice comeback of her passion for the arts, I guess. Because it's, it is romantic. And for her to be like, oh, I just created something. And it was purely fun and nice.
Yeah.
I just think the painting in this second book is just not as bad.
Yeah.
It's only funny because the fun from the first book carried over.
It is a bit
fun
funny.
is a bit...
I mean,
The
because we
annoyance.
made fun of it, but the annoyance. I feel like painting in this book finally took its glasses off and got a new haircut and it had a whole makeover and now it's hot.
Okay.
Shame on you.
But it is a bit funny
Yeah.
how she draws one star. I feel like if you draw something with your finger, it's just gonna look funny. And then for her to be like, I was painting again. Like, I'm not sure if I would call that painting.
That's the thing. Like, when I read it, I just assumed she, just traced the form of a star.
Right.
As you would, doodling. And then she was like, oh, I painted again. And I was like, And I read it again, and I think it's supposed to be more elaborate than doodling, because she's like, and I like captured the starriness or flames or whatever the fuck. I don't remember really.
No.
So maybe it's not just like the little doodle outline form of a star, but because she also described, it's reflecting how it looks in the sky. And I don't think the spirits look like, wee! Like 5-pointed stars, wee!
She has to be very talented to do that with her finger on someone's hand.
With goo.
With goo. But it's glowing goo.
Yeah,
So.
that makes it better. But yeah, she's painting again, and he helped her find that.
Yeah, cute. Good for her. Good for them.
That's nice.
Awesome.
And then he says that he wishes that he hadn't kissed her under the mountain. And I was like, they kissed under the mountain? I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
And Feyre's like, we kissed under the mountain. Sometimes I forget about that. And I was like, thank you for explaining to me what happened again.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who do not remember,
They kissed under the mountain.
yeah, it was like Tamlin, like on her last night, Tamlin was like, okay, now I have to make contact with her. And then they start petting. And Rysand, like,
In a dark broom closet.
Yes, and Rysand discovers them, and to keep that reveal from Amarantha, he like pushes Tamlin away and then kisses Feyre, so that like the paint on her body.
Quite forcefully.
Yeah.
I think
Forcing his tongue in.
Right. I think we made a lot of fun about that scene because Feyre describes it happening like in the dark, and then suddenly Rysand is there, and we were just making fun of it happening inside of Rysand's darkness for him to be like,
yeah.
guys, can you, hello, sorry, can you stop? That's my foot, get off my foot.
Yeah, and the thing
Sometimes.
is, he just says it was wrong of him to do that and to force her and to be so violent, and he doesn't excuse it, but he explains that he was angry and jealous.
I liked this admission. It was not something I expected, and it feels unexpected in a moment where they have like romantic tension for him to be like, I wish I hadn't kissed you. But there's a lot of meaning in that admission. Like,
Yeah.
It's also somehow I wish our first kiss would have been different.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after his admission of the kiss, they look at each other, and Feyre sees in his face what she feels inside of her, which is hunger, longing, and a surprise of maybe recognizing these desires upon the other one's face. And then she asks him to dance with her.
Sweet.
And they don't only want to have a romantic dance here on this balcony, but she's like, let's go inside and be together with friends. And she also describes him as a friend. I feel like she uses this word quite often to describe him in these chapters.
And I really wondered what that means. Is that supposed to tell us that Feyre is like content with the fact, okay, he's such a good friend.
Friends with benefits.
Maybe it just means that she definitely has reached the friend stage, like with all of them. But I mean, she has admitted that she wants more of him.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's good that she reached this like friend level with him.
Yeah, I don't think she was ever friends with Tamlin.
No.
Like if you look at it, like they were in love, but they weren't friends.
Yeah.
But also, like, did we ever figure out why they were in love? They just were.
We wondered about this a lot. And I think we just came to the conclusion, she's the female protagonist. He's the male protagonist. They both hot. They bang.
Yeah.
Book 1 didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But this scene, that did it more for me.
Yeah. It was very nice.
It was.
And especially, like, that was what they were fighting about, like, in the deepest sense, was him, or them, I guess, not opening up to their friends. And now them being like, let's be together with them. They are friends. Like, let's spend some time with them. And it's important that we not only spend time with each other, but, like, all of us together, because that is what makes us happy. And that's nice.
We're all in this together.
I'm starting to really like how the theme of this book, in contrast to the first book, which is just very much romance and love, like the answer to the riddle is love. She has to say, I love you to break the curse. It's very clearly love. But this book seems to be more and more about friendship and how healing friendship is. And that's a
Nice.
cool
Yeah.
idea for a second book in a romantasy series. Actually.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's very nice.
No.
Yeah. And that is how this chapter ends.
Nice.
Them going back inside to dance.
Cute.
So even though like plot-wise not a lot happens, like I think there's a lot of character development and resolvement of issues.
Yeah. A lot out of the way.
Yeah.
And a new way paved.
Nice. But that concludes this part of the podcast, and we switch over to the little part that we now always have at the end, which is recommendation corner.
With getting Fae'd.
Did you bring something today?
I did. It's a very simple recommendation. 2 days ago, I met the game Tutto for the very first time. Tutto. It's, I guess, like from the Italian tutti, everything.
Tutti frutti.
Yeah. Because it's a game of chance and a game of dice, and also cards, which is a nice mixture. Like you got all of it in there, but it's very simple. You draw a card, and then the card tells you what happens with what you roll. It's like you can take all of a double, or you get a bonus of like 500 points or something like that, or you get a chance and it's a joker, blah, blah, blah. Very different cards. And then you just roll your dice, and you can take out some of the dice and add them to your point count, and you want to have the most points at the end, and you just roll and roll and roll and roll, and it's kind of, you can go risky and risk it all, or you can play it safe. But if you risk everything, you can lose everything or win a lot. It's very fun. I think we played like 4 hours straight, just this game. And then we went to a restaurant, and while we waited for our dinner, we also played the game.
Nice. That sounds fun.
So your recommendation is Tutto.
Yes.
The game.
I don't know if it's like a game in other countries than Germany, but I looked at the backside of the carton, the game carton, and it said English rules inside. So there are English rules inside.
Nice.
So pay that shipping fee and get that game.
Oh, I feel like you can get it overseas as well.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I also have a recommendation. I didn't have a recommendation like shortly before this episode, so I had to make one up, and I decided to go simple and thematic with this episode because they celebrate a stargazing holiday, and I just thought a good recommendation would be to go out stargazing. I think a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate how cool stargazing can be if you like take time to do it, and maybe also drive out to a darker place because we have a lot of light pollution, and then just sit there. You can also download, like, I know that's such a boomer app, but I have an app where you can like point your phone to the sky and it tells you what the constellations are called.
So cool.
It's pretty cool. You can download that and then just go out and appreciate the stars, and maybe you find a place with not much light pollution. That's my recommendation. What's your recommendation, Lea?
Well, I don't think my recommendation is something that people don't know or don't think about, but it's more the recommendation to have the courage to do it. Oh. And that is like to basically have me time, but like the fact that you don't have to be together with someone, if it's a partner or a friend, like to go out, especially during the day, and do something nice. For example, yesterday, I was like, I'm already in the city. I don't want to drive home again because I have to be in the city later that day as well. And I still have to read. So I guess I'm gonna treat myself to go to a little cafe. And it's just like, you don't have to be together with someone to like do nice things. So
nice.
Go out, do nice things, treat yourself, have some nice me time.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yeah. Maybe go stargazing by yourself and play Tutto by yourself while doing it.
That might be a bit hard.
And then also listen to this podcast while you do that. Nice.
That you can do by yourself. And we will be there with you.
Nice.
Always.
That's a nice recommendation, Lea.
Thank you.
Very nice, yes.
And I guess with that, we will conclude this episode. We wish you all the best for this coming new year.
Exciting!
And if you need some push into this new year with some nice, funny content, then you can visit our socials at Getting Fae'd Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And there you can find some highlights, animated highlights of this podcast, some outtakes that make you laugh, hopefully, and some memes that also will make you laugh. And now, newly, some recommendations that will fill up your
amazing
new year.
Amazing.
Yes. And also, if you enjoyed this podcast, then not reconsider. If you enjoy,
then reconsider. Just reconsider.
If you enjoyed this podcast, maybe consider leaving us a 5-star review on whatever app you're listening.
Speaking of stars, you could leave 5 for us.
Yes, and you can also give us some feedback, or just if you want to tell us something, just don't tell us any spoilers. You can slip into our DMs or just comment.
That would ruin our year if you spoil us.
Yes.
Yeah. If you spoil us. No,
No,
please
you
spoil
can
us,
spoil
but don't
us.
spoil us.
Yes.
Also, it's hard to find a transition because we just recommended alone time. But if you happen to spend time with a friend, you might consider telling them about this podcast, spreading the word. Maybe just take a link to an episode that you particularly enjoyed, send it to someone, and maybe then you can enjoy this podcast together in the future.
Because word of mouth really, really helps.
Yeah.
And that's all for this first episode of the year.
Nice. And with that, we see you next time when we're
Getting Fae'd!